I live in New Jersey, home of pork roll, 24-hour diners, overdevelopment, and rude, angry, and impatient drivers. It seems like everybody in my state is in this constant state of stress. It's like their default system. Well, it's not just New Jersey, it's pretty much everywhere around the country, you could say. A lot of people are living in this constant state of stress and chaos, fight or flight mode, where they're almost seeking out problems, because if there's not problems or there's not chaos or there's not something to complain or be frustrated about, it's like their body doesn't know what to do. And we all know when we're in constant states of stress, it taxes our system, it taxes our adrenals, it throws things off. Everything in life has a rhythm. Our bodies have a rhythm, our heart rate, right? All the organs in our body have a rhythm. Out in nature, we see the seasons have a rhythm. Sunrise, sunset, moon cycles. Animals have a rhythm. What would happen if animals in their natural habitat just fell out of sync with nature? So imagine if this guy fell out of sync and he felt like he needed to control everything in his life. He would be so much more frightened and out of sync than he already is. Now imagine if this guy was just in a constant traffic jam in life. How can nature be angry all the time? Does this animal look angry? So it's almost like we train ourselves to be in this new default system of stress, where we're seeking out, almost getting pleasure from problems and stressors in our lives. And we know that we can train our bodies or our minds or brains very easily to do things over and over again, to react in the same type of way. So it can become this protection mechanism, or we think we're protecting ourselves from certain events happening or circumstances that are affecting us. But at the same time, it can become part of our identity in a way where we can't live our lives free anymore because we're constantly reacting. And in the same way, it's constantly taxing our system, right? We think, it's almost like stress becomes our new rhythm, but really it's not in rhythm, it's out of rhythm. The mind may think that it's just how we are, right? This is how things are. This is how my life is. This is how reality is. This is how I should react to things, right? Because I'm so used to it. But at the same time, it's actually causing a lot of chaos within. It's like living in a constant traffic jam. Things are stuck, or a constant bad accident, right? It's instead of like a nice Sunday drive where we're cruising along, flowing with life. So this is what happens when we don't flow with life, essentially, and we try to control things that are completely out of our control. So if I'm sitting in a traffic jam, unless I have some kind of jet fuel pack attached to my car where I can, zip up and over traffic, it's out of my control. So there's nothing that I can really do about it. And what do? We often react and we just get frustrated. And it just creates more and more resistance inside of us and in this constant state. And when we have a lot of resistance in our body, things aren't flowing properly, okay? We're getting completely out of rhythm to nature. So whenever we're shining our flashlight, onto certain things like maybe the garbage can in the corner, we may say, oh, this world is filthy, full of garbage, like it's crap, right? But across the street could be like this little puppy walking along, and we're not shining our light there. So our attention's not on that, it's on the garbage can. And, when we place our attention on that stuff, or the more toxic or the more negative things, then it just becomes part of our world, right? Our perception of how the world works. So when we are, going about our lives and our default system is set on chaos, is set on stress, is set on frustration, irritation, and we've trained ourselves for so many years to just react in that way, it's definitely falling out of sync to the world around us. Okay, so when you are constantly worrying or you're constantly seeking out problems, we tend to attract more problems to you because you're shining that flashlight on that area. You're looking for it because your body doesn't know what to do. So how do you de-stress, or how do you change the default system? Well, number one is awareness of when you're doing it, how you're reacting to certain events and circumstances in your life. So say you're sitting in traffic or somebody cuts you off, you have that emotion bubble up inside you, right? And a lot of times we just react because that's our normal mode. But if we can be aware of it as it's happening, right, we're more likely to diffuse the bomb. And that's number two, is diffusing the bomb by, when it's happening, practicing, accepting that some things are out of our control. So for example, if I'm sitting in traffic and I'm just getting frustrated and I feel my body tense up, right, which is automatically stagnating everything, putting things, out of sync, out of natural rhythm. My heart rate might increase and blood pressure might increase. And this is where if we're in this state for so long, it's okay once in a while, right? We're sitting in traffic. But if we're going through our lives in this state for so long, it's going to start affecting the internal world, right? This is where disease starts in the body because our natural rhythm is thrown off, okay? And if it becomes just part of our identity, we no longer are using our fight or flight mode or these protection mechanisms, these things that we were given out of pure instinct as for defense. But if that becomes just our 24/7 mode, we are constantly taxing the system inside. And we may not realize it until years later where things pop up. So if we're in traffic, practicing diffusing the bomb by, something is out of our control. I'm sitting in traffic, I can't go anywhere, I can't move, so maybe I will put on some music, put on a funny podcast, maybe I'll think about something I'm looking forward to instead of placing that flashlight just on the traffic jam itself, which I can't do anything about it. So I'm wasting mental energy while my internal world is completely thrown off at the same time because I'm resistant, I'm not flowing with the situation. And I know the situation will eventually let up, but I'm not allowing that, okay? I'm not allowing myself to know that in the moment. And then number three, it's just rinse and repeat, okay? So awareness is huge. Just how we're reacting in life, really being aware of what our default system is, how we are responding to certain stimuli in the world. So, if you live in New Jersey like me, there's always a degree of stress from people honking their horns, a lot of impatient people here. We're near New York, so everything's crowded. Everybody's trying to get somewhere. Everybody's busy, has someplace they need to be. So a lot of us are out of sync to nature. We're not flowing with our lives. But we have to understand that, the less we're allowing things and the less we're flowing with life, the less we are just accepting that some things that we're trying to control are just out of our control in life, right? We can't control every little thing, but we try. And when we try to control every little thing that's out of our control, this is where we get out of sync. So in summary, it's not necessarily that this is just how reality is, or reality sucks and life sucks and everything is frustrating in life. It's that you have taught yourself, you've trained yourself to believe that. You have trained yourself to believe that because you've trained your body to react in a sort of way, your brain to react in a sort of way, and fall out of the natural rhythm of things. So it's trying to get back to that place where your life can be like a nice Sunday drive because you don't allow a traffic jam to just rock your world, because a traffic jam is going to eventually let up. Okay, it's not gonna last forever. Just like any problem or anything in your world is not gonna last forever. It's not the biggest, worst, most horrible thing to happen to you. You're just thinking that way in the moment, okay? Whenever there's something dark, light comes after it. And sometimes we have to learn the lessons, learn the wisdom to get to that point. That's just how life is. It's a matter of ebbs and flows, right? You're gonna meet disgruntled, angry people, but that doesn't mean that you have to be just like them. That doesn't mean that you have to let that person's energy disrupt your own natural rhythm with life, is all I'm saying. Because once you identify and are addicted to this state of constant fight or flight, constant defensive mode, constant just tightening, irritation. You know how that feels in your body. If you really pay attention to it, feel it in your body. It feels really uncomfortable. So imagine what's going on inside, right? Not only the mental state, but imagine what's going on, throwing off the rhythmic patterns of your organs, of your system, of your energy, right? It's disrupting all that. It's disrupting all that, but it's only because we allow it to. So on that note, I hope you have a great day. Let me know if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe. I put out new videos every single week for you on all kinds of cool topics, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.